if a mason goes out and lays a foundation on a house, when the stick framer comes in to build that house, that foundation is always out of square. We're always having to tweak, twist, turn, this and that. And I have to feel like that God built me out of square too. That I'm perfectly imperfect. It's just exactly who I am. So I'm just trying to tweak, twist, and put myself into square every which way I possibly can. And I was just thinking about this earlier because it was just like, it was crazy that you mentioned that. It was like, you know, in recovery, in the 12 steps of recovery, it talks about, you know, we are now willing to give God all these defects of character inside of us, right? But I have to believe that God built those in me for a purpose of some sort. What I should be praying is, God, show me how to utilize these defects as assets in my life to other people and you as well. Yeah, a lot has happened in a year. A lot of things have changed and switched and turned. But I think my desires are the same. You know, there's areas that doesn't have what we have here that I really want to help get there. You know, the first year is all about sobriety, and then the spirituality, and then maybe the emotional, and then like this year I want it to be all about the physical. And like, you know, I got teens. 90% of my life I've always lived in an environment that was cultivated out of drugs, abuse, violence, hate for the world, like all those things, you know. And like today I just want, you know, and I do pretty much, but I want to live and build an environment to where like everybody feels safe and secure with who they are. No matter what they're struggling with, what they're going through, like everybody's welcome, you know, and the people isn't going to judge them and all those things, man. And like we do a fantastic job of putting those things out there in recovery communities, like, hey, everybody's welcome to love regardless of who you are. But it's got to go further than just recovery-based community, right? I just feel like, you know, if the world could come together, you know, we ain't gonna have people from Nebraska over here, you know what I mean? But just right here in the Tri-Cities of Tennessee, where we're all at, like Johnson City and Hawkins County and Sneedville and Morristown and Greenville and you know, us in Sullivan County, like if just once we could all to come together, imagine how much more powerful we'll be as a community. Not a recovery-based community, not a religious-based, faith-based community, but as a community in general. The world's talking more about recovery. The whole world is. You know, you got all these big-name artists doing all these things. It's all about recovery. Like when I open my TikTok today, it's recovery, recovery, recovery. People, you know, like, look at this, look at that. I've been sober this amount of time. Like, so I think recovery is becoming cool, and that's pretty cool to see. You know, people are, you know, embracing it. The way they embrace it, however they look at recovery, is way different than maybe the way I look at recovery. But at least they're recovering, you know, and they're not out here killing themselves with whatever they're putting in their bodies. Recovery requires a lot of digging, and I was talking about a couple weeks ago, you know, we have this precious metal here on the earth that's called gold. Now, while that gold is buried beneath the earth's surface, it's dirty and it potentially holds no value until somebody comes and digs that gold up and washes it off. It becomes worth millions of dollars. And everything on the inside of us that we have to dig out, while it's on the inside of us, holds no value to ourselves or to anybody else. So when we dig that stuff out, it becomes an asset to the world and everybody around us, and somebody who's went through the same exact thing they may be going through. That experience is how we help and lift each other up. It's far more valuable than $1 you can give to somebody, or maybe even a ride or putting some gas in our gas tank. It's the words of encouragement that gives hope, and hope keeps us alive.